Hello Pisces, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to Solar Studio. Karo here. We are diving into passion, intimacy, attraction, and the hidden desires reading. Uh, let's see what elements are shaping your path right now as we are going through this end of September 2025, also under the influence of the eclipse. We are using sexual magic tarot. That's why expect some raw to roots about these terms. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pick your cards. So our first message is going to be for your desire. Okay. So for your desire, we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is going to represent your desire. Their desire is the King of Cups. King of Cups is their desire. So let's see the magnetic force in between you, the chemistry, attraction, or the blockage. We have the Four of Swords. And now let's see another message which is going to show us the outcome of this passion path, where this energy is leading. We have the Nine of Wands. I'm gonna go ahead and pick also Oracle card for the outcome. Your Oracle card is, we have the Bliss, the Jupiter card. I will also get one true love message oracle, and this is feels right. Feels right oracle. And of course, some context with the Lenormand to our tarot cards. So, Knight of Pentacles clarified by the Rider, King of Cups clarified by the Crossroads, Four of Swords clarified by the Snake, and Nine of Wands clarified by the Tower. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, Pisces friends. Now, let's begin this reading. Pisces, these two cards are representing your desire, and we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Rider here. Well, we can see that your desire is steady and consistent with the Knight of Pentacles energy. Knight of Pentacles energy longs for very slow, very reliable growth when it comes to intimacy. And there is here a desire that you seek, something you can really trust. However, with this rider energy, you also want movement, messages, like proof of action from this person. It's like the Knight of Pentacles on steroids, right? So I feel like your craving here is reliability, but is not in some type of a stagnation format. You want someone who really shows up with both commitment, but also a person who can take initiative. So these things, it seems, matters. Their desire, on the other hand, King of Cups, and we have a very important card here, Crossroad. So you desire reliability. This person desires emotional depth and also maturity, but they can be a bit torn between choices here. So they crave intimacy and emotional security, but they, I think, hesitate to weigh options here. Their desires, I feel like, very strong, but it is very much split. So um they may be in a time where they hesitate and they are now deciding actually how, with whom, to give their emotional investment. So these are some terms that this person goes through in terms of desire. Now, the magnetic force in between you is also with the Four of Swords and the Snake. Now, these two cards, they energetically align, but also not so much aligning. So the chemistry in between you, Four of Swords, is a bit muted. It's a bit restrained. It's a bit like on a pause. The snake energy is quite the temptation and jealousy and complications. So the attraction is there, but I feel it's suppressed, like, some temptations, but where this is gonna go. Like, and I think this suppressed energy creating some kind of attention. It always trying to seek much more than that, but it stays there. There can be also a um, secrecy energy in between you, maybe some rivalries or some dynamics which can invite some more complicated terms than maybe romance here. But I feel some kind of a plot in the magnetic force. Like, it's not opening up, and it still continues with the Nine of Wands and the Tower. Again, like a lot of defensiveness, boundaries, I feel, and maybe isolation. I feel a person is putting some barriers out there, like they feel maybe, or you feel emotionally walled off. Um, Nine of Wands can sometimes a state where we persevere despite the old odds, like from distance, but we do it by guarding ourselves. Like when a person approach, we do not fully open up. We guard. We don't let our walls down. We put the walls up. So I feel like this passion, all this energy may lead up to a point where people can keep the connection in some kind of a arm length, okay? But despite the obstacles, of course, Jupiter expands the story here. The lessons of the connection can bring growth, wisdom. Um, the bliss energy is, to me, is more about a perspective in life, like finding even meaning in what is really unfolding for you. Whether together you are or apart doesn't matter. And it feels right, I feel like, because the connection has a deep resonance deep down. And when it feels good, when it feels true, when it feels undeniable, and it feels right. But of course, there is also caution here that the feeling is complicated by some barriers and choices, and maybe also some trust issues adding up. I think it's an interesting reading, which blends your reliable passion with real action, with their desires for emotional depth, but again divided in their choices. I think it's a complicated attraction. It's very tempting, but also it's very much having those pauses and secrecies as well. The outcome is more of like walls with boundaries, Actually, the intimacy really can struggle here in the Tower and Nine of Wands energy, my friends. However, at its best. I think even in the unfolding phase of this passion path, there can be lessons which can be very discerning. Um, and I think people see if those barriers are worth enduring, I do feel. So thank you so much, Pisces, for tuning in. I hope you enjoy my mini my mini presentation with this deck. So that was for end of September. And if you have a personal tarot question around this time, you can always find me in my live streams called Karo is Answering Your Tarot Questions. There we can also have a one-on-one session. If you do not know how live streams work, please check the description box below and see you there, hopefully. Thank you so much. Bye bye, Pisces.